What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. When it comes down to Lucid's expansion into both Europe and Saudi Arabia, that is a very big catalyst because both of those regions do have a very big amount of demand for EVs. So it is fair to say that Lucid is definitely positioning themselves in the right areas. But when it comes down to Lucid specific demand, this is where it's been questionable over the last little bit. But based on the latest stuff that's been coming out, I have been very much wrong. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get right to it. So as you can see, just more on a side note on Lucid's actual YouTube, it does look like they posted a recent video now delivering in Europe. So this news already did come out roughly about 1 week ago or close to that, but definitely they do hit that check mark, and I think this was a must do. So they did say in the Q3 earnings that it is going to be occurring in Q4. They kind of left it for the tail end of the year, but still counts as a check mark that they did follow through with their commitment. So like I said, I think that is a very big catalyst. And even looking on Lucid's website, the Air Dream Edition, it has shown as reservations closed. But unfortunately, ever since they did announce the P and the R versions are going to go to Europe, they didn't really change this. So it's always shown reservations closed. So we've never really seen on how many is going to be shipped out to Europe, on what kind of look is it going to look like this. Never really said anything, but they did recently add this blurb at the very bottom talking on the P and the R versions, which of course, like I said, are destined for Europe. But this post right here that was done on by Let's Go Lucid on Twitter, this shows that the Dream Editions destined for Europe are already sold out. So like I said, when it comes down to, for instance, the Sapphire or even the other Air Grand Tourings, like I said in the past, there might be some hiccups potentially as far as demand for the Air Grand Touring, like I've said in the past. But seeing this, it is just, I was very much wrong. So I'm open and saying that, and even looking at the price point. So even in comparison, this is what the Dream Edition did sell in North America, so 169,000. The equivalent of the Dream Edition that is destined for Europe is equivalent to 231,000. So a very big spike, a difference in that regard. And of course, in case you guys do not know, I am Canadian. So when I'm looking on Lucid's website, it does convert a lot of those to Canadian currencies. And based on just the currency as well, they add roughly about 10-15% of a little bit more of an extra tax for currency conversion, or maybe for transportation. I'm not necessarily sure, but similar to what this actually happened, the 169 compared to the 231, definitely is a very big difference if you want to consider it that way. But regardless of that, they did completely sell out. So that is a very, very positive thing. And it goes to show that Lucid is expanding in the exact right markets. As I've said the whole time, I've always said that Lucid's expansion is my favorite aspect of Lucid. And I think in general, because they're hitting all the right marks, they're hitting China, potentially based on all this. Hopefully they do elaborate on that in the Q4 earnings, but Saudi Arabia, North America, and Europe, all the right areas where there's a massive amount of demand for EVs, this is where they're going. So this is why when you are investing in Lucid, think bigger picture, because a lot of the PR behind the scenes is very much positive. Of course, the price action hasn't really corresponded with the actual news lately, but it will adjust with time. So that's just my own interpretation. Keep in mind, I'm a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But some of the latest articles as well that's been coming out, it shows that Lucid, for instance, is among the best for 2022 for test drives on what this company did do. So I believe that they are number 4 potentially. Not really anything said special about this, but it does say that it makes the Model S feel basically pointless. So definitely a very positive thing. But no matter what, this article come out shows that as far as Tesla compared to other EVs, it's not really holding its value in comparison. So once again, that is very positive for Lucid investors, because whatever product that a company is selling, you want it to mean something. You want it to hold its value, and Lucid is definitely doing that. So of course, the price point is a little bit higher, but if it's holding its value, definitely it is a very positive thing. And when it comes down to the technical, it's very much green today, so that's always a very nice change of events. Still technically lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. RSI is 28, and like I said, and I have been saying over the last couple of videos, we have been well overdue for a value rally. And I think the PIF officially coming out saying that they did purchase, even though that news did come out on November the 8th, but once again, having the Form 4 submitted does and makes it a little bit more concrete. So I think that's what kicked off, as with some other economic data as well, is kicking off our value rally. So stochastic right now is still very low at 6, so that's oversold, but you do see that deviation, so red line above the black showing a bullish sentiment is wanting to kind of form based on that. Momentum number retail investors are going up, still below 0. So as you can see right here, my cursor is at 0. So anything below that, we are technically losing retail investors more than what we are gaining. And so let me know your thoughts on that. So I personally feel, as I've always said, Lucid is a long-term investment, and if you trust the due diligence, nothing's changed in that regard, then you should take advantage of these discounted prices, because yesterday was the last day for tax harvesting or tax selling for 2022. Now going forward, as I even mentioned in yesterday's video, you are most likely going to see a lot more green days from today onwards. Of course, like I always say, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you've been taking advantage of these discounted prices, and let me know your thoughts on this, the Dream Edition. Not so much as far as the price, but the fact that they're already sold out. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.